Well, welcome back to another live. And thank you to all my new supporters. I really appreciate you. But this channel was created for me based on conspiracy theories and things of that nature, which now we know that it's actually not a conspiracy, that these things are actually taking place. However, I found that most people don't really care about what's going on, which to me is sad because you always want to be prepared for things that's to come. Because we are at the end of days, and there are going to be major challenges and things that's going to come to America. America got to fall. Babylon got to fall. And the way we live in America, is going to be affected. And you have to prepare yourself the best you can. But like I said, most people, they don't care about serious stuff. So I had to add celebrity news to my channel, which I do enjoy that because it's entertaining and it's fun. So I do like that. And then I still have my book club and I like doing that as well. But yesterday I did Larry Hoover and who else I do? Somebody I did. Lord have mercy. Mm, mm, mm. Now you know I'm getting old. Who I do, y'all? I got to look and see. Oh, DDG. And I like the views I got on and I enjoy doing that. But today we're taking a more serious note. Today is drones, fog, and sickness. And this is something serious because two Chinese nationals was caught in Detroit carrying a pathogen. And if you believe like in biblical prophecy or something, last days, and a number of prophets said that there will be another pandemic. And millions will die of this because this will be more strenuous and more dangerous than the previous pandemic. And now I seen a video the other day where there were a lot of patients in the emergency room. So if those were the two Chinese nationals that were caught in Detroit, where I am, how many got through with this pathogen? So it's going to be real interesting. All I'm going to say is take K2 plus D3. Keep you some zinc, some magnesium, some vitamin C. Keep all that things around, and get your immune system in order because the pathogen has been released. And that's what this video is not only about that, but you remember the drones, the fog, and the sickness, which were created. And we know who was created by. This particular government has always experimented on people from the 1800s. What they did to the slaves as far as experiments, and the Nazis, what they did with experiments with the Jewish people. All that is real. And we're going to get off into that because I did a whole lecture on biological chemical warfare. So let's get off into this. And we're going back. UFO drones are surveilling America, most sensitive military sites, and the Pentagon says it can't be stopped. Now, this was under Biden Harris, and they said it couldn't be stop. Come to find out, when these drones and things were appearing, they were from who? China, spying on our military bases. Fleets of dozens of mysterious UFO drones are surveilling America's most sensitive military sites, and the Pentagon admits it can't do much to stop the aerial intruders, according to a new report. Remember, Trump, before he was elected, was saying, shoot them down. People were saying, shoot them down. They like, no, they can't shoot them down. If Biden was the weakest president ever, he was so weak. And then we didn't know. Well, I knew something was wrong with him because my grandmother had dementia, and he act like I knew that he had dementia, and people couldn't believe. And now all that is out everywhere. Drones of an unknown origin have been spotted flying over military bases in Virginia, Nevada in the past year, including the secret base of the Navy's elite SEAL Team 6 Commando Unit and Naval Station Norfolk, the world's largest naval port, the Wall Street Journal reports. And remember, Chinese nationals were caught trying to enter into military bases last year as well. Federal laws, however, prohibit the military from shooting down the drones due to the potential risk to troops and civilians. Trump would have shot them down. Jamming their signals was also ruled out in a high-level White House meeting, according to the Journal, over concerns that it could interfere with 9/11 systems, Wi-Fi networks, and commercial airliners. The result is that the Pentagon has little recourse to halt the potential surveillance from foreign adversaries. So now you say they UFO, but then you admit in the next paragraph it's foreign adversaries. Former U.S. Air Force General Mark Kelly was first made aware of the drone sightings in December 2023. Remember when all them balloons appeared all over the place? Didn't shoot them down. They was just China just been spying. When officials at Langley Air Force Base, and Langley Air Force Base, which is in Virginia, is where like the AIDS virus was made, and I'll get off into that. A lot of viruses are made, but USA wouldn't fund Fauci, remember? So they went to the Wuhan lab. Now these viruses and sicknesses are being made in Wuhan, China. Anyway, along the Virginia coast, reported seeing drones flying over the base at night, according to the Wall Street Journal. The base is home to the F-22. Come on now. One of America's military's most active appear over the course of 17 days, and under Biden's weakness, he ain't do nothing. With officials suspecting they might have been deployed by Russian or Chinese agents to spy on American military assets, which was confirmed to be true. Because snooping does not constitute an imminent threat, the military is prohibited from shooting down the drone. I'm going to take this off. Trump would have shot him down. A directed jamming attack also had the potential to interfere with commercial aircraft near the peak of the holiday travel season, one FAA official warned. Analog tactics were also unsuccessful as local police aiding in the investigation would lose sight of the drones during the midnight chases, the Wall Street Journal says. The drone sightings ended on December 23rd, with officials still unsure of where they came from and who was operating them because Biden was weak as hell. No, I'm going to take this off. That's why. There are a number of drones flying in coordination. Authorities have ruled out the possibility that amateur drone pilots were behind the sightings. A clue, however, arrived the following month when a Chinese student studying at the University of Minnesota was caught flying a drone near Langley Base on January 6th. The student Feng Shangxin, 26, had gotten his drone stuck in a tree and appeared to have abandoned it when he flew to California the following day. So they've been here. The drone fell from the tree the same day, finding its way to the FBI, which found the device had photographed Navy ships docked at the base. Shai was arrested a week later as he was about to board one-way flight to China, with prosecutors charging him with unlawful taking photos of classified naval installations. Excuse me. Involving a drone, according to Wall Street Journal. Magistrate Judge Lawrence Leonard dismissed Xi's claim that he was just a student on vacation flying a drone for fun, with Xi pleading guilty to espionage charges on October 2nd. If he was a foreign agent, he would be the worst spy ever seen, ever known, Xi's attorney, Shan Xin told the Wall Street Journal. Along with incidents, U.S. officials have confirmed that similar swarms of drones have been recently spotted near Edwards Air Force Base in Nevada. The Defense Department has yet to publicly state who is behind these apparent surveillance drones, and we found out it was China. Okay. Let me go to, what is this, December 12th? Hold on. You know what? I want to make sure I get this down for the weather. 12, 12. Okay, I had to write that down. Hey, y'all, how y'all doing? I had to write that down because we're going to get off on how they make the weather. So, security experts share startling theory about who may be behind mysterious drones in New Jersey and why. The drones that have been tormenting New Jersey residents for weeks could be part of a top secret government program, experts told the Post. The feds have been numb about the daily drone activity in Morris, Passaic, Bergen, and Hunterdon counties and beyond since the gizmos were first spotted November 18th. But several experts said the U.S. government might be behind the unsettling flights, which could be part of a super secret military program meant to test new hardware before it hits the battlefield. Well, we know that was a lie. But that's how the drones was looking in the air. And somebody, I think somebody ended up shooting down one of these drones, a civilian. But that's how it was looking in the air. My first guess is these are potentially government programs kept within what's known as Special Access Program, which is purposely put together to keep even the most clear people out. It is truly is to keep it secret, Clint Emerson, a retired Navy SEAL, said. That's why the government's like, we don't know. That's they're being truthful, he said. adding that the circle could be as small as a dozen officials. They don't even know the program exists. That turned out to be a lie. Emerson said it's impossible to know what the drones might be doing, but he suspects the secrets is the technology they're carrying, not the devices themselves. It could be different types of coalition capabilities, so different types of cameras, like high definition, infrared, or thermal. A second payload, for instance, could be hardware that grabs all cell phone data in a given environment. Also, they releasing sickness to the people because people who experience these drones and this mysterious fall also said they were sick. Say we got 10 drones, they fly in a grid. How much cell phone traffic can we pick up? Not actual conversations, but just the signature of millions of cell phones. What are 10 drones pick up going over an area? That's a legitimate test. They're not invading your privacy. That's legitimate data, and that's a fucking capability. And what better place to do it than New Jersey, the country's most densely populated state? I didn't know that. I didn't know New Jersey didn't have that many people in it. That would be my number one guess. It's a very closely held program, and they're doing what they need to do to ensure that technology actually works. That turned out to be a lie. But this is how the drones is looking. The beauty of this special access program is they're kind of in their own lawless little world. They can go do whatever they want and they don't have to tell anybody. Kelly McCain, a security expert and former Marine Special Missions Officer who worked for the Office of Naval Research, echoed Emerson's comments and said he thinks the government is testing out some operational capability. That was later confirmed to be a lie. I don't buy it. Tech exists to drop one or all of them, and they haven't. Bullshit. There's likely not much comfort to New Jersey politicians who are dealing with the swarm of complaints about the low flying devices. Very alarmed at this significant reoccurring phenomenon and the tepid response from our state and federal agents so far is totally unacceptable, Smith said in a statement. As we saw with the Chinese spy balloon, didn't I just say that last year? Our fiercest adversaries will stop at nothing to severe our homeland and threaten our national security. Facts. Meanwhile, Senate Republican John Dremick from the state's 21st legislative district said that New Jersey should issue a limited state of emergency banning all drones until the public receives an explanation regarding these multiple sightings, according to a statement from the GOP. The governor, Homeland Security, the FBI, and Secret Service at all levels of government, the most important point to say is we don't see any concern for public safety. Right, because y'all let China come in and spy, Biden Harris. Having said that, it's really frustrating that we don't have more answers about where they're coming from. What is this? He continued, adding that there were 49 drone sightings that night. And again, this is how they look. Homeland Security officials, they're hoping we're getting answers sooner than later. They are apparently very sophisticated, he said about the aircraft. The moment you get eyes on them, they go dark. We're obviously more concerned about sensitive targets and official critical infrastructure. The Federal Aviation Administration has restricted drone flights over Picanny Arsenal in Morris County and the Trump National Golf Club in Somerset. But no one in local federal law enforcement have put forward a motive for the nightly flights, even as witness videos flood the internet. Unfortunately, We don't have any answers, and we don't want to guess or hypothesize about what's going on, FBI spokesman Amy Thorson said. We're all doing all we can to figure it out. And those are the drones and the officials that were under the Biden hairs. I hope they gone. So here we go. This is where the sickness come in. Stay away. Fire crews ordered to wear hazmat suits before approaching Mystery Jones after hundreds spotted over U.S. skies. One Republican lawmaker made wild claims about the origins of the unidentified drones. A New Jersey mayor felt panic as hundreds of drones have reportedly been spotted hovering over airspace for nearly a month, leading frightened locals to call out lawmakers to investigate. And this is how they were looking up here and in the sky. You see, since Trump been in, ain't been no drones. See that little bright, bright star look like a star? That's a drone. Belleville Mayor Michael Mayhem said that his fire department was briefed by state officials on what to do if one of the SUV-sized drones flying over the Garden State suddenly drops. The guy says two different things. First of all, if there's a down drone in our vicinity, we are immediately to call the bomb squad of our county. And second, our fire department has been instructed to make sure they wear hazmat suits. The mystery floaters were first reported November 18th in Morris County, about 30 miles from New York. Since then, reports have continued to increase, with dozens of residents documenting video footage of the mysterious flying objects from their backyards. Since then, reports have continued to increase, with dozens of residents documenting video footage of mysterious flying objects from their backyards. Unidentified drones have also since been seen in increasing number of states, including New York, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, and Maryland, leading officials to investigate. As lawmakers and Pentagon officials monitor the situation, New Jersey firefighters have warned residents not to approach any crashed or landed drone. The New Jersey Division of Fire Safety has developed guidelines for residents to follow. The bulletin states in bold letters, down or landed drones should not be approached. If down or landed drone is spotted, residents are advised to contact police or fire officials. Following what Mellon said, firefighters also urged to wear full PPE equipment with self-containing breathing apparatus when dealing with down drones. New Jersey Mayor Phil Murphy said he wrote a letter to President Biden expressing his concern. Since existing laws limit the ability of state and local law enforcement to counter unmanned aircraft systems, more federal resources are needed to understand what's behind this activity. Biden ain't did nothing. State officials have been unable to verify any or more than 3,000 reports of drones hovering in night skies over the past several weeks. The drone phenomenon has been reported in New York and Connecticut. New Jersey Senator Andy Kim said he went out with local police on Thursday night and spotted drones flying over Hunterdon County. This has gone on for weeks. It's hard to understand how, with the technology we have, We aren't able to track these devices to determine the origin, and this makes me much more concerned about our capabilities more broadly when it comes to drone detection and countermeasures. And it came out later that it was China spying on us. Drone sightings were reported New Jersey, parts of New York City, eastern Pennsylvania counties, and Maryland. New York Governor, she is awful. Kathy Hochul doubled down on public safety concerns. Yeah, I bet you did. We know New Yorkers have spotted drones in the air this week, and we are investigating. At this time, there's no evidence that these drones pose a public safety or national security threat. Now, Republican Jeff Van Drew, a representative of New Jersey, accused the Pentagon of hiding the truth about the mysterious drones from the public. Van Drew also made wild claims that drones were being launched from the Iranian mothership vessel off the East Coast. There is a mothership, but it's for us. Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. The mothership is off the east coast of the United States of America. They launch drones into everything that we can see or hear. And again, these are high sources. I don't say this lightly. But Pentagon officials denied the representative's claim, saying there is no evidence of an Iranian vessel. There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there is no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States. Governor Murphy also rejected Van Drew's claim. So then, yeah, I'm probably just going to delete this. This is the same thing about the New Jersey. Yeah, this is the same thing about it being from Iran. The lack of information is absolutely unacceptable. At the White House, National Security spokesman John Kirby said there is no evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose national security or public safety threat or foreign nexus. Many of the sightings, Kirby said, are actually manned aircraft that are being reported lawfully. No drone sightings has so far been reported in restricted aircraft. Drones were reported flying over a neighborhood in the Bronx. One of the city's five boroughs officer who responded to the incident saw the drones flying overhead, but they disappeared soon afterwards. I'm so glad to get this stuff out of my oh my god. Okay, this is the same one talking about from the okay, I'm just gonna delete this. Mm. Van Drew said we have information that a sea-based Iranian drone mothership is currently missing from port and that its embarking timeline will align with the appearance of the New Jersey drones, he said. To state that there is no known or credible threat is increasingly misleading, and I informed all officials of that sentiment, Fantasia wrote in a post on X. Now, recently, a deal was made with China to purchase drones, motherships, and technology, and that the mothership containing them arrived off the East Coast about a month ago. We got to get them down, Van Drew said. Right now, they're probably extracting information. There's a clear and present danger to the United States and our president elect that this is serious business. One high ranking Jersey police source said everybody is befuddled and that nobody knows what the fuck is going on. The lack of coordinated response is troubling. I have never had anything in my time where no one knows what's going on, but no one seems that concerned but the people who do national intelligence, the FAA, the FBI. And then the speculation these were Chinese spy operations, which later it turned out it was. Oh, I gotta keep that. Okay. We're gonna stop that and we're gonna get into these videos. What time is okay? Got a half an hour. Oh yeah, then I'll be getting ready. Oh, this is not even saying nothing. So let me let that one. Let me let that go.
By the way, imagine you're a U.S. general on the roof of your base and you're watching drones. You don't know what they are, where they're from, just flying over, and it's going on night after night. That is what happened to our military. This is a story that's gone all the way to the White House. I'm not talking about people flying drones around airports or paparazzi looking into backyards. I'm talking about multiple major breaches of some of the most restricted U.S. airspace, including our most sensitive military and national security sites. All of this is according to the Wall Street Journal, or most of it anyway, which interviewed multiple U.S. generals and many other government officials. Here's what we know so far. In October of last year, 5 drones flew over a little-known government site in Nevada used for nuclear weapons experiments. Then in recent months, more unidentified drone swarms, as they've been described, flew near Edwards Air Force Base near Los Angeles. And here's the doozy of them all. Last December, the biggest incursion we know, a dozen or more drones every night for 17 nights straight, circling the area of Langley Air Force Base along the Virginia shore. This is an area that includes the Navy's SEAL Team 6. I know you've heard of them. Also, Naval Station Norfolk happens to be the largest naval port in the world. A lot of classified stuff there. And earlier this week, the Pentagon spokesperson did get a question about the sightings over Langley. Watch.
The number of those UAS incursions did fluctuate on any given day, but they didn't appear to exhibit any hostile intent. It's something that
Some carefully read remarks there. I have lots of questions, so do others. Where are these drones coming from? What are the drones trying to find out about us or our bases? And how come the military didn't just shoot them down?
That's what I'm saying.
And we had the Wall Street Journal reporter that broke this story. His name is Gordon Loopold. He is a White House and national security reporter with the Journal. Gordon, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
So here on my list of questions, my first question is literally what? Exclamation point. How is this possible? And again, why did the military just not shoot these drones down?
Right. We recognize it's a totally crazy story. It was a lot of fun to report. I think the unlike a lot of stories we try to write where you answer questions, there's a lot of questions that are left unanswered in our story. I think there are a bunch of different issues about why they weren't able to shoot them down, but one of them is that this is, as you mentioned, that one of the largest incursions of these swarms of drones, or the first one, over a U.S. military base.
Gordon, this is one of the most interesting stories I've seen reported in recent years. And part of what makes it interesting is you have these on-the-record interviews with U.S. generals. They're talking to you for a reason. And then you also have these kind of unnamed officials that talk to you. And my understanding, tell me if I'm wrong here, the military does not think this is just a bunch of hobbyists, right?
No, that was like initially.
Okay.
The Pentagon confirms it. Unidentified drones did fly over Langley Air Force Base in Hampton.
Yeah, the Defense Department spokeswoman said today the drones didn't appear to have hostile intent. Mike Gooding has the latest.
Langley Air Force Base is the East Coast home to F-22 Raptors, advanced fifth-generation stealth fighter jets. The first fighter wing maintains and operates half of the F-22s in the United States Air Force's inventory. U.S. military personnel reported drones appearing in restricted airspace over Langley between December 6th and 23rd last year. Now the Defense Department confirms it.
Langley Air Force Base did experience incursions of unauthorized unmanned aerial systems last year in December 2023. The number of those UAS incursions did fluctuate on any given day, but they didn't appear to exhibit any hostile intent.
Pentagon spokeswoman Sabrina Singh was asked Tuesday why the Air Force did not shoot down the drones.
I do know that with all of these incursions, given that it's, on U.S. soil, there is another level of coordination within the interagency that needs to take place. But the commander absolutely had his or her authorities to engage any systems that are a threat to the base.
It's unclear if the drones belong to hobbyists or to a foreign government or adversary. Singh said she didn't know where they were launched from.
This is something that, I know the department continues to analyze.
Well, it was later confirmed that these drones came from China. Okay, that was. Knock that one off. Oh, let me write this down. Store Robbins. 2021. Where am I going? Get this old stuff off this phone. All right, now I gotta go back. Went too far. A minute. Oh no, that's up there. So I go up there. Here we go with the sickness. Drones are spraying something over communities they are flying over. Here we go.
Hey everybody, so let's have a quick conversation. I got some clips I want
This
to
is
show y'all,
Michi
okay, at the end of what I'm saying. But I just want to ask everybody, and something you should be aware of. Do y'all know that even though we have all these drones flying around, do y'all know that these drones is spraying stuff on everybody now, okay? Now, y'all follow me down this rabbit hole really quickly. We're not going to go as deep as the rabbit hole goes right now, but we are going down the rabbit hole. So remember how the government said these are not our drones. We don't know who they is. We don't know where they came from. We don't know what they doing up there, okay? But they not no threat. Now I'm going to reiterate that sounds crazy to tell us an assurance, oh, they're not a threat, but then in the same breath we say we don't know whose drones these are.
Right.
So you can't tell us they're not a threat if you don't know where they're coming from, right?
Facts.
But now these drones that they don't know who they is, they don't belong to them, and they ain't no threat to nobody, is spraying stuff on the communities that they're over, okay? And so if an unknown drone, many of them are flying across this nation and spraying an unknown chemical, because if the drones is unknown, the chemicals are unknown too, right? I mean, that just makes perfect damn sense to me. Do it make sense to you? It should, unless you're stupid. But, I mean, if you don't know what the drones are, then you don't know what they're spraying on us. How is that not a threat? So anyway, I have no idea, okay? I'm not in the White House with Kathleen Kamala. I'm not in there with Biden propping him up on a stick with his dead ass. But what I will tell you is that stuff just don't seem right. So let's connect some dots here in this rabbit hole. I don't know if you guys know that in California, they have declared a state of emergency because of this flu virus, bird flu, whatever the heck it is. It's a virus, y'all, okay? And they claim that, people are sick that haven't had any contact with animals. So that's apparently when these, viruses get dangerous, is when they can be transferred from person to person and there's not any animals around, but it was an animal virus. So we should be aware of that. Now, I can't say if this is what it is or not, but I remember the World Health Organization told us, and if you don't know, then I'm about to tell you right now, you could go look it up, but we've been talking about this, okay? If you've been watching my platform. The World Health Organization has already said that disease X is coming. Now, X is just a placeholder when you don't know what it's going to be.
Facts. And they caught 2 Chinese nationals in Detroit last week with the pathogen. How many got through? Facts.
They said that it's not a matter of if, it is a matter of when, right? And that it will be worse than the last pandemic, than the COVID, okay? This is what they said. Not my words, their words. Now, when the government tells you something like that, you should probably listen to them and believe them, because it's going to happen, because they're going to make it happen, right?
Facts.
And so, what is all this stuff that they're spraying on us? Are we getting ready for another pandemic? Is disease X coming? Like, what are you spraying on people? First of all, I mean, let's say that we would say the government admitted these were their drones. They can't say they spraying for mosquitoes, because it ain't that time of year. They can't claim that they spray up for anything like that, like we have an outbreak of something, insects and things like that. But I'm going to take you back to the beginning. Remember, these are not their drones. They don't know where these drones come from. They don't know who they is. They don't know what these drones are doing. They do not know. And these drones are spraying stuff on us. So once again, I just want y'all to give it up one time for all of the so-called conspiracy theories, because y'all think we be crazy, but
right.
I don't think I'm crazy. I think some of y'all don't be paying attention to
right. That part. That part.
So with that said, y'all, I mean, I'm laughing, but this ain't no laughing joke. I want you to put
it's not.
And then put that 4 and 4 together, and then that 8 and 8, and tell me what you come up with, because the drones are flying over us. They are now dropping stuff on us, right? And then we have the state of emergency in California. Again, remember, it's not a matter of if. It is a matter of when, okay? And so is it the time for that? And again, if you watch my other video, the port strikes are probably coming back. Trump is about to, place these tariffs on everybody right here in January. There's a lot that's going on. And the bottom line in all of this is that you should probably be prepared for whatever. The stay ready so you don't have to get ready motto. Like, don't wait until it's too late, because that's the word right there. It's it's too late. Okay, so what you should have, Michi, what should I do to be ready? Well, you should have supplies of the things that you need in your home. Again, I'm gonna reiterate, don't go out and start panic buying. You should have been doing this stuff, right? But make sure that you have some supplies, food, things of that nature. Make sure that you have something that you can filter water with if your power doesn't work, so that if you can't turn on your stove to boil that water, you can simply get a life straw from Walmart. You can go to MX Survival. I'll put the link to that in the description of this video. And you can go over there to that website and got all kind of stuff. But you need a life straw. You don't have to be an expert at filtering water. You need something for your power, candles, flashlights. You're gonna need batteries. I prefer a solar generator, you guys, so you can look at some of those because they have them out there. You can also go to Walmart too, you guys. Not Walmart, Home Depot, or you can order it online. But you can get like 100-gallon water storage container. And when I brought that up before, somebody asked me like, how long can you keep the water in there? Well, you can keep it in there indefinitely. That's what they're made for. But I'll switch it out like every maybe 6 months, right? Switch it out and put more water in there. But it's a lot, so it'll take a lot to fill it up. But you should just be prepared, right? And anybody who thinks that's extreme, at the end of the day, imagine being caught in the bullshit and you have nothing.
Right, that part.
So anyway, with that said, y'all, I'm going to show y'all these clips. Y'all watch them. You tell me whose drones these is. You tell me what they.
That's what I'm saying. And I done bypassed a lot of stuff. I just realized how I wrote this stuff up. Let me go back. These are Chinese drones. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, no. Oh, shit. Not that one. Damn. Don't do it. I thought that was it. Is this it? Mm. Mm.
I come to you in the most precious name of our Father, bringing
Oh, shoot.
you a word.
TD Jakes. Let me write this down. TD Jakes. This is China's drones. China unveiled their drone system. Okay, let me get up here. What was that? Let me get through these. Oh, before I end this. How about this one?
Editing is now officially in our meat industry. Lobbyists for the cattlemen and pork associations in several states have confirmed that they will be using the mRNA COVID vaccines on their livestock. Attorney Tom Renz has been warning that there is no law requiring anyone to give informed consent for vaccine food. There are no laws requiring anyone to tell you the food you are buying has been vaxxed with the spike protein clot shot. The UK recently passed into law the Genetic Technology Precision Breeding Bill. The bill amends the Environmental Protection Act of 1990 to exclude references to precision-bred organisms so far as they relate to marketing. Precision-bred organism is another term for gene-edited. So now in the UK, food that's been gene-edited can be legally marketed as non-GMO. And if this UK gene-edited meat makes its way to America, it can be labeled non-GMO here as well.
Wow.
And so long as it's butchered in America, it can be labeled product of USA. The fake alternative meat being pushed by Bill Gates and others is made of immortal cell lines. Editing is now officially in our meat industry.
That part. I need to put that under Bill Gates so I can play that again. I'm not going to delete that. And this might be in my other file. I'm going to circle that. Okay, 12:2. Let me circle this one. It might be in my other phone. 11. $15, $16. I think I just did it. $15, $16. Oh, here we go.
All the people panicked about mysterious swarms of drones in the skies above New Jersey should not turn to Colorado for help solving the mystery, because our state's unexplained drones over the Eastern Plains 3 years ago, they still haven't been explained. Here's Mark Salinger.
There's another one.
The drones in New Jersey are strange.
I look to my left and I see two big drones. They were propeller driven, going very slowly.
The story also feels strangely familiar to what we saw in eastern Colorado in 2020.
I mean, it should sound like a really high pitch, just like an almost like a little engine that wants to blow up.
The questions lawmakers are asking on the East Coast today are the same ones we asked here 4 years ago.
What is going on in New Jersey?
We do not attribute that to an individual or a group yet. We're investigating, but I don't have an answer of who's responsible for that.
Short of having hard evidence, I wouldn't want to speculate on what it is that the people are seeing.
Even similar meetings and teams were formed.
A drone task force to find out who or what is behind these flying objects
in Northeast Colorado and Nebraska.
The issue prompting a meeting Wednesday attended by roughly 100 mayors and state representatives.
At least for now, all the answers have also been the same.
Are you telling me that in America, somebody can start flying drones and we have no clue what's going on?
To me, this is no longer a novelty. I think we need to figure out what's going on.
The Colorado Department of Public Safety tallied more than 110 reports of drones in 2020. Some were determined to be small hobby drones. Others were planes. The department only said there were no instances of illegal drone activity. No official final report was ever released on whether there was a large swarm of drones.
Sound like a cover-up.
It's a very different thing. We're literally at an advertised show.
The team at Light Action Productions making it very clear the 180 drones they're going to fly over the Wilmington riverfront Friday night, they are not the drones to worry about.
We require FAA authorization, so we have to put in the permits and all of that, so everyone literally knows what's happening.
These little drones are drones like these. Yeah, the types used by hobbyists and pros for photography and video. These are not like the SUV-sized ones Nancy saw over her house in Newark very early on a recent morning.
Right over the freaking house. This is crazy.
I got up and looked out the window, and there were 3 huge drones about 500 feet above the tallest pine tree. I was so mesmerized by what I was seeing.
I see some local police departments in our viewing area are telling people if you see a drone, call the FBI's field office in Philadelphia. In Delaware, they're sort of saying the opposite. They say if you see a drone, call your local police department, and then they can send it up the chain.
And hopefully no one shoots at it.
This real estate photographer, Happer, a little freaked out by all this talk of shooting drones down. This little drone pays her bills, and she plays by all the rules and laws. She also doesn't want to see anyone hurt by a bullet that might miss its target.
What goes up always has to come down. And it's going to end up hurting somebody. I need my glasses. No.
Rhonda saw the drones over her house in Pike Creek, Delaware, and got really crisp video and photos. She says whomever is doing this really needs to fess up now. And she says enough with politicians grandstanding and writing letters. She says it is long past time to figure this thing out.
I'm not freaked out too much. What freaks me out more is the lack of answers. You know, if it's a military sort of training thing, I would think that they would just say so to, you know, calm everybody's fears.
Tim Furlong, NBC 10 News.
Former Governor Larry Hogan shot this video last night. These lights over his hometown in Davidsonville, just 25 miles from the nation's capital, as he pointed out. And then there's this.
I've never seen that. Wow, they just passed each other. Yeah, I've never seen that before.
New Jersey Senator Andy Kim shared this video of drones he shot yesterday. Federal authorities insist most of these sightings are actually legally manned aircraft. But Senator Kim says he checked a flight tracker app while capturing this video and that the devices he was capturing were not on it. The sightings are happening near LaGuardia Airport, too. Officials say they received unconfirmed reports of drone activity over that busy airport. As for numbers, the FBI says it's received more than 3,000 tips from the public about drone sightings going back to November 18th, all over New Jersey. Since then, there's been an average of 92 sightings per night and expanding across half a dozen states. In a joint statement, the FBI and Department of Homeland Security said, quote, "We have no evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or public safety threat."
Like that's supposed to make you feel better, right? And they everywhere. Or were. Ain't been no drones since Trump been
Kathy
here.
Hochul releasing a statement on X after reports of drones spotted in the skies upstate, including right here in the capital region. Albany County Sheriff Craig Apple confirming the reports with CBS 6 today. CBS 6's Sam Israel reports now from Albany International Airport, where there have been numerous reports of these drones.
Community members say that they saw drones flying around near the Albany International Airport around 6:30 on Thursday night. Now, it's worth pointing out that flying drones in the U.S. airspace, particularly near airports, is strictly regulated, and many community members are concerned following these recent sightings.
Unsettling. It's just like
you feel really like helpless.
Peter Hill lives in South Colony, near the Albany International Airport. He claims he spotted multiple drones in the sky around 6:30 Thursday night.
I was out in my backyard letting my dogs out, and it was a very clear night. And I just looked up and I saw at least 2, possibly 3.
Hill isn't alone. Posts on local Facebook groups, including the Colony Neighbors and What's Going On Saratoga, reporting similar sightings. Both the Albany and Saratoga County Sheriff's Departments did receive reports. But drone sightings like these aren't just showing up in the capital region. In Orange County, video from the emergency services showing a drone moving slowly with blinking lights.
I don't think there's something that you guys should be panicking about, and there's an immediate threat, but I am definitely concerned about it.
Colony police say one of their officers...
I'm concerned, but don't you be concerned. Get out of there.
And those drone sightings now in all parts of our state, across parts of Maryland, I should say, tonight. And
Now
I
this
spoke with several
Maryland.
folks who did tell me they're feeling a little bit of concern and a little bit of frustration that federal leaders have not exactly pinpointed at this point where they are originating from.
All the ones over here. There's 2 behind here.
Reports of drones soaring through the night sky in states like New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut. And now Maryland is being added to the list.
And again, in New Jersey, now we're seeing one right outside our bedroom window.
Literally. Eileen DePaula says her husband Mike spotted a drone outside their Baltimore County home just about a mile from North Baltimore around 10 o'clock Thursday night.
Had it not been for the stories, I may have not even noticed it. But all of a sudden, I'm watching this light outside, waiting for Eileen to come to bed, and then I see it, just drifting left and right. And I'm like, that's not a star, and that's not a plane.
And about 15 minutes before the DePaulas saw one,
They have questions without answers about drone sightings across the tri-state, and new tonight, Mayor Adams posting on X that he is aware of concerns, and the city is actively investigating the matter and working with federal, state, and local agencies. Fox 5's Teresa Priolo live across the Hudson in Belleville, New Jersey, with more on the growing calls for greater transparency.
Another night, another New Jersey municipality questioning the commotion in the skies. This time, it's the Essex County town of Belleville. The mayor of Belleville, Michael Melham, took this video.
I never saw anything like it. Dozens and dozens of drones coming in from all different areas. We were swarmed last night with drones circulating and hovering just hundreds of feet above our houses.
The Belleville sightings come nearly a month after New Jerseyans began questioning what all these unidentified flying objects could be. It has prompted an emergency meeting of some 200 mayors and Homeland Security.
Call them drones, call them aircraft, call them whatever you want. There's something flying above our homes here in Belleville and statewide, and our residents are concerned.
The mayor's concerns are echoed by Governor Phil Murphy, who sent a letter to President Biden begging for help, and by Senator Andy Kim, who co-signed a letter to the FAA, the FBI, and Homeland Security. He's been so frustrated with the lack of federal action that he went out to Hunterdon County to experience it for himself.
Why it is that they're not being forthcoming with this information is confusing to me and very frustrating.
And while New Jersey appears to be the epicenter of
Man.
this crazy situation,
I'll let that one go. You're just showing the different states where this was. I'm gonna let that one go. Now this Florida.
New tonight, we are learning about more mysterious drone sightings in the Northeast. ABC News reports the objects entered the airspace of a New Jersey weapons station multiple times. Now, the sightings are sparking questions and anger from some with numerous lawmakers demanding answers from federal agencies. Now, people in other states, including Florida, say they're seeing similar unidentified flying objects. Investigative reporter Terry Parker talked to a Miami Beach woman who posted video of the mysterious hovering aircraft outside of her balcony. And Terry, she thinks it looks like those same drones seen in New Jersey.
Yeah, and she's really not even sure what she saw, but she doesn't.
Now that's Florida. This Staten Island.
PD now being called to investigate the mystery in the skies.
All right, Fox 5's Stephanie Routini joins us live from the Fort Wadsworth section of Staten Island with more on what's been happening. Steph.
Hey, good evening. Well, the Staten Island Borough President is not only calling on the NYPD, but other agencies to get to the bottom of this. As you know, it all started with sightings in New Jersey, and now it's spreading. Well, people I talked to today, they're calling this all very bizarre and very concerning.
It is very bizarre when they're talking about drones the size of cars flying around residential areas.
Facts.
The
Facts.
mystery in the sky over New Jersey also becoming a mystery in the sky over Staten Island, where the borough
And
president
they big as SUVs. That is. But what they spraying on you.
The hundreds of mysterious drone sightings in New Jersey are sparking mounting demands for a more forceful federal response, especially as more sightings are now being reported in New York, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and also in Connecticut.
I find it astounding that the government can't give us any answers. Our military, with its capabilities, it cannot give us any answers as to what these are.
A senior official briefed on the drone sightings tells NBC News overnight there were 79 reportings just in New Jersey alone, something Belleville Mayor Michael Melham says he's witnessed firsthand from his bedroom window.
We are absolutely seeing drones. We are not seeing small planes. And frankly, it's been insulting to the residents of New Jersey to be told that they're just seeing things or they're all misidentified. We're not misidentified. There are objects that are flying within hundreds of feet above our homes.
Despite the growing demand for answers here, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas continues to say they have not seen anything unusual, telling CNN today, quote, "We know of no threat or nefarious activity." And new tonight, President-elect Donald Trump is weighing in, taking to Truth Social, saying, quote, "Mystery drone sightings all over the country. Can this really be happening without our government's knowledge? I don't think so. Let the public know, and now, otherwise, shoot them down."
That's what he said. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this stuff. I want to get through some of this, so I'm gonna keep going. This is the Biden White House.
I'm Matt Gilka in Washington, where the White House is getting pushback for downplaying alleged drone sightings from state and federal officials and residents.
This show Biden Harris.
About the reports up and down the East Coast. The White House's response to the growing number of reports of drones in the New Jersey and New York City area is getting major pushback from state and federal officials. National Security spokesman John Kirby said they could not corroborate the visual sightings and that there was no known security threat. A joint FBI and Homeland Security statement said the same.
Upon review of available imagery, it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully.
Kirby's statement didn't sit well with some local officials on the ground.
And the weight of these things, if they somehow malfunction and lost their power and they come down, if they weigh 50 pounds and they're falling from 300 feet, that's not going to be good for whoever's underneath of it. So I really think Mr. Kirby's statement today was
But
pretty
these drones were the size of an SUV. So if it hit you upside the head, it was going to do more than that. I didn't know I had all
Let
this.
me calm those nerves. We have not seen
anything unusual. We have not seen any unusual activity. We know of no threat. We know of no nefarious activity. I want to repeat that. We have not seen anything unusual. We know of no threat or of any nefarious activity.
He is the worst director of Homeland ever in the history. He didn't know nothing. He didn't know about all them millions of migrants they left in. He was awful.
All right, so you're here today. You were just inside. You walked out. Why?
I walked out because it was worthless. It was the biggest amateur hour presentation I've ever seen about anything. Okay, it was ridiculous. There were no answers. Every question that was asked by a member of the state legislature, great questions, no answers, no resolution. They don't know where the drones are coming from. They don't know who's doing it. They don't know why they're doing it, but they say there's no credible threat. It was annoying to be there. I drove 2 hours to be here today, spent an hour in there. I got to drive 2 hours back. The biggest waste of 5 hours in my entire life.
So why do you think they called this meeting?
No idea. Why would you call a meeting to tell people you don't know anything? I had no idea. And then when
Right.
legislators
And just lied, knowing that these were from China. This is Detroit.
Look at it. Look at it.
This Detroit.
Babe, look. Babe, look. It's right there. And right there. It's literally right there.
It's a drone.
Dude, 100. Look how slow it's flying right now. Look at it.
What is that? Oh my god.
Look at it. Look at it.
That's Detroit. That happened in Detroit.
Someone called the cops on these leaks. See, even the police, they're going crazy. The aliens are attacking.
Wow, look at that. I want to keep that. What they just do? Oh, let me see. I want to keep this for my aliens.
So we have aliens taking over people's radios?
I'm gonna leave that for that other video. Okay.
So this is a summary of what this theory is, okay? It is after speaking with some folks that I won't go into detail of their identities. Now I believe that the drones are our own military and government attempting to intercept a suitcase nuke that either has already entered into a major city or cities in the United States or is trying to prevent them from entering by detection through technology of these drones. They are saying, we believe that these drones are a defensive mechanism by the United States. These are our drones. Do not shoot them down. They have nuclear sniffing capabilities. They are trying to find nuclear bombs that may have been smuggled into the United States. And as you guys know, we have massive air defenses. As I've shared with you, a nuclear attack from air, there are several steps that would need to unfold. It sounds like they are saying they believe that a nuke has been snuck into the United States. The drones are here for the purpose of trying to sniff them out. It says this would also explain why all the agencies are playing dumb, as if they told us the truth, there would be mass panic and chaos in major cities like New York and New Jersey if they were to tell the general public this information. So they are saying, rather than fire something in from the air, they have smuggled it in, they believe, in from the land, and they believe that it is here. And they are saying they believe that these, so this is a summary of what this theory is.
drone just crashed. I'm going to show you the footage right here and also explain what is really going on. But trust me, they're lying to you. Watch the footage.
The shit fucking crashed. No way.
Okay, let's solve this mystery. First of all, sorry for it's loud. It's Christmas. I'm here in Bangkok. But listen, you can't even shine a laser at an airplane without the feds knocking on your door and arresting you for a felony. We know exactly what it is. Actually, they're ours. They're lying to you. The Pentagon is lying to you. They're doing a psyop. They're doing a test. They drone invasion. They're launching chemical trails. They're seeing what's capable, what they can do within the domestic. To create an emergency. If you watch the Alex Jones show on Twitter, which you should be on, you'll know. But this is completely U.S. It's not aliens. It's not Russians. It's not Iranians. It's our own government who is lying to you, telling you they have no idea what these people are evil and they're out to get you. So that's what's going on there. So it's a coordinated military test to see if they can do domestically as far as basically what happens.
I'm gonna keep that video. I'm gonna keep that one.
So check this video out, y'all. This guy is away.
Now, then they were spotted in California.
First on the East Coast, now mysterious objects are being spotted on the West Coast. Temecula, to be specific, leaving residents buzzing.
Christy Fajardo joining us live with the update there. Christy.
Yeah, Christine and Susan, is very much a mystery. The Biden administration has said that multiple agencies, including the FBI, are investigating the sightings, but says it's possible that much of what people are seeing are actually manned aircraft. But people who live here in Temecula say they're used to seeing helicopters and planes from nearby Camp Pendleton, and they say what they saw was quiet, and one had the video to prove it.
I think the public has a right to know what is flying above the skies and what the purpose is.
I would like to say that people aren't ready for the truth of drones, for the truth that there are.
This is Gina Colvin Hill. She is awesome.
Say look like stars, and you can stand in your yard, you can look up at the sky, and you can see what we call stars at a distance. But they're much more than stars. I read a comment, Gina, you're really confusing me. You need to clear this up. You showed something on your wall, and you said they were like shape-shifting, whatever, but then you're saying they're stars. A new life form has been identified. From the very beginning, I've always said that these were not what people think they are.
Wow.
But for the sake of argument, I would just refer to them, oh, they're just a star, because some didn't feel like, shall we say, some didn't want to hear what I was talking about. Because
She is
they had a
awesome,
difference of
Gina. I
opinion.
gotta put this for my UFO. That's December 15th. So let me write that down. Yeah, we're gonna redo that under. Jason A is awesome. I love his videos.
That's just a plane, not a drone. Now, can we stop calling them drones? They're obviously UFOs, people. Come on. It's all over the world now. It's not just in a little thing in New Jersey. Just saw one from China today. It's all over the world. What do you think? That some country, Iran, has the capacity and the capability to monitor and fly these drones all over the world at the same time, doing the maneuvers that they're doing? I mean, not trying to scare everybody, but they're here. They're here. And the powers that be don't want to acknowledge that, because that leaves them with a higher authority. Nobody's going to care about Trump or Putin or all of the strong men in the world who are dictators and cruel and evil. No, they're not going to have the power that they had if this is true. The aliens are here. And they're obviously superior to us in many, many ways. Let's hope they don't want to just,
Oh, that's 12:16. Let's go on to my aliens. Okay, I think I'm gonna do 12:18, and we're gonna stop there. Oh. Magician. This is December. There you go. I got it now. Okay, I'm gonna delete that. Put that on the weather. Okay, here we go.
Drones. Every time I look at my phone, I keep hearing about more drones. The President of the United States talking about these drones just moments ago at Mar-a-Lago saying, you know what? The government knows. The government knows what's up. Why they're not telling people, I don't know. Well, there's a guy who runs a drone company, and he thinks he knows why they're not telling anybody. And I guess this is a little concerning if he's right. We'll just take a quick peek at some of his comments because they're worth seeing. This is one John Ferguson who spoke on Twitter earlier.
Hey, everyone. My name is John Ferguson. I'm the CEO of Saxon Aerospace here in Wichita, Kansas. I'm not normally a TikTok kind of a guy. I like watching this stuff every once in a while. But I'm a manufacturer of unmanned aircraft, military-grade unmanned aircraft, as you can see one of my systems here. There's all of these mysterious drones going on off the East Coast, and as a professional, as a subject matter expert, I wanted to give you all my opinion on what I think could be going on with these drones. I don't particularly believe that these have a nefarious intent. I could be wrong, but I want to give you the truth and what I believe. It's my own opinion, and I've not bounced this off of anybody. So, if you think it's bullshit, whatever, Oops. That's cool.
Sorry.
I don't want to spread misinformation, as we know that there's a lot of that going around. But anyway, back in the 1980s, Ronald Reagan had dismantled the nuclear program, and there were, with Russia, there were countless nuclear missiles that were disarmed and disposed of. Well, there were over 80, I believe. There were over 80 nuclear warheads that were in Ukraine that came up missing. Okay. We don't know where they are. Maybe somebody does, but nobody really knows where these are. And I speak with some pretty high level government officials on this stuff, and it seems as though that is the case. So I spoke to a gentleman a few months ago who was trying to raise an alarm to the highest levels of our government, which they had their ears closed, about this one particular nuclear warhead that he physically put his hands on. He physically touched this warhead that was left over from Ukraine. And he knew that thing was headed towards the United States. Okay? That is a very serious deal. And everyone knows that the United States government, this administration, is pushing to get into a war with Russia. We all know that. We all feel it. We all see it. Okay? Well, back up a few years. Do y'all remember when those drones were mysteriously flying across the Interstate 70 corridor from Colorado up into Nebraska, down here into Kansas, and out into Missouri? Well, it was believed that those drones were looking for radioactive material because there had been some material that come up missing here in the United States, and they felt like it was high probability that the nuclear or the radioactive material would be taken along the Interstate 70 corridor heading east or west or south. So from what we understand, they were out there trying to find this radioactive material. Now, drones, they have no reason to be in the air at night.
That's scary. I'm gonna end with this
The
one.
White House says the drones seen all over the Northeast are a mix of law enforcement, commercial, and personal drones. While there are about 100 different investigations going on right now, there hasn't been any kind of security threat found. ABC's Perry Russom has the latest from Washington.
The White House today working to calm concern over the reported drones hovering over the Northeast.
There's no national security threat we're seeing at this time, and no threat to public safety.
ABC News cannot confirm what these videos show. National Security spokesman John Kirby on GMA this morning saying people are seeing a mix of law enforcement, commercial, and hobbyist drones in the sky.
Most of these aircraft are doing good things. They're delivering products. They're being tested for science purposes. They're conducting law enforcement missions.
Drones have been reported in at least 7 states in the Northeast. Federal sources tell ABC News.
Well, we know that was a lie. Let me get rid of that because that was a lie too. Well, I got to play this. Elon Musk response.
So Elon Musk has finally posted on FBI along with other federal agencies, and due to the probability moderate, yes, I think.
No, I don't want to hear that. I can't take it.
Who had been head of special forces and Army intelligence, he intercepted me after we had this major contact event out in Florida and near Pensacola. And he subsequently, about a month later, personally offered me $2 billion to not pursue what I was doing and become part of his team.
We got 5 drones. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 miles to the west. Look at these things, man.
Because the actual truth about this is kind of mind-blowing, but everything I'm telling you is true. If you're going to decapitate the presidency and the Congress on something this important, then basically you're setting yourself up as your own entity, and you're going to operate outside the law. And if you operate outside the law on something this important, you are dangerous. So it's a very dangerous game being played. Now, most of the information on the subject is nonsense. I found out that there were covert programs that were staging alien abductions and mutilations. Everyone thinks those are aliens doing that. So no, it's not.
Okay, we're going to stop right there. I'm going to have to come back on this. So we'll stop there. And let me put this down. 12, 17. All right. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I appreciate my new subscribers. Thank you so much. But we have